All right, everybody, how's everybody doing? All right, okay. Well, we're going to talk about Green Party recruiting this evening, and we've been out there doing some recruitment. We're just kind of ramping up. We're getting some good experience. We've got some good materials, and we continue to involve this thing. And I just want to kind of bring some of our experiences and some of what's working for us. Because I think that for everywhere from our elevator speeches to our more organized outreach, I think that we're getting better at this all the time, and I just want to kind of talk about what's working and kind of start the conversation, keep that and push that conversation forward, and encourage people to be a part of that. So this is recruitment tips and talking points. Got a little bit. This should be fun, I hope. So recruitment. What is the goal of recruitment? Is to first promote. Promote the party, educate the public about the party and ourselves, and to connect people to us, ultimately to get people to join and to work. We communicate Green Party values and platform, connect community concerns with Green Party solutions, spread our culture of grassroots democracy, show enthusiasm for the Green Party, and empower citizens to affect change. Got a bad connection. Okay, there we go. All right, so the way this works is the recruitment team, the outreach committee, they're out there trying to get new members for the chapter, okay? But doing that on our own is not a good thing. So we work in concert with the membership team, with the membership committee. In this analogy here, we're the pitcher, and it doesn't make any sense to bring people in this chapter if you don't have a good membership team bringing them in and getting them activated, welcoming them, orienting them. And so I think we've got both of these pieces working now, and I think that that's key, and that's exciting. And I think we've done a lot of work at getting this pitcher and catcher working this year. So I think that that's one of our big accomplishments this year. What makes the Green Party unique? This is what we're out there selling, okay? We are a model of grassroots democracy in a volunteer-based organization. We are the people versus the money. And volunteers are our greatest asset because unlike the Democrats and Republicans and the corporate parties, we're not going for big money. We're going to represent our communities. So what works when we're out there talking to folks? We're standing on a corner and people are walking by and we're like, hey, check out the Green Party. This is some stuff that's really working for us when we're out there talking to folks. So I just want to share that stuff. The first thing that we find that we lead with that really gets people thinking and really listening to us and stopping and talking with us is to talk about the collusion, corruption of the corporate parties. People feel this. They know it, okay? So when we talk about legalized bribery in politics, gerrymandering and voter fatigue, people understand what we're talking about. And then we can start to give them some more information, fill in those gaps, and tell them what the Green Party, how the Green Party is the solution to that. We talk about the biggest pot of money in the world is the American tax base, and all corporations want a piece of that pie. Maybe that's okay. Right? But under no circumstances should these corporations seeking government contracts be allowed to bribe elected officials with campaign contributions in advance. Almost all Americans, no matter how conservative or how liberal, agree with this. And they get excited that there's an option. Only the Green Party refuses to take money from corporations and rich individuals. We work for a community, not campaign contributions. People get excited when they hear that they have that option. And people respond to that. This is what I have found, both as a candidate and as a recruiter on the street, that gets people the most interested. That is the wedge that drills right into people's mind and says, wow, this is something I'm interested in. Then we can go about talking about how the two corporate parties, and people don't know this so much, but if they vote, they know it, and we're going to explain it to them. The two corporate parties collude to draw non-competitive districts and largely do not run against each other in most of these non-competitive districts. Down here in Jackson County, there's almost no Republicans running. Up there in Clay County, there's almost no Democrats running. Almost every place in the nation is a one-party state. We don't even have democracy. People go to they go and vote, they go, that's why there's only one person on the ballot for most of these, Green Party's bringing democracy to America. Because basically we've lost it. Only about 100 of the 435 seats in the U.S. House are remotely competitive, and it is even worse at the state and local level. What are campaign contributions to candidates in non-competitive races? Straight bribes. This is the dialogue that we are bringing out on the street, and this is getting people picking up their ears. And thirdly, voter fatigue. People are starting to really turn off to politics in this country. Over 50% of voters do not vote even in presidential elections because they accurately understand that voting for either of the two corporate parties will not significantly change their lives for the better. The Green Party is a very different kind of political party, and that's exactly the words that I use. Very different kind of political party. We are a truly grassroots, volunteer-based political movement that cannot be bought. Okay? People are excited when they hear that. People are interested when they hear that. And this gets people going for us. A different kind of political party. Only the Green Party can deliver what Americans want. Because we are Americans. We are in it for the right reason. We are representatives of our communities. We are not representatives of our campaign contributors. Yeah. And that's a big, big difference. People don't even know they have this choice. When they find out they have this choice, they get excited. What do Americans want that the two parties won't give to us? They want us to get serious about climate change. The Green Party invented the Green New Deal in 2006, 13 years before a tiny number of Democrats ever mentioned it. We are trailblazers. People don't know this. When you tell this to people, their eyes light up. They're very excited. Only the Green Party can tackle the climate emergency because the Green Party does not take money from the fossil fuel industry. This is the same thing in every area. We're going to increase taxes on the wealthy like Americans want, and neither Democrats or Republicans are going to do it. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, the richest person in human history, not only paid no taxes in 2018, because I asked people, how much money do you think the richest person in human history? Jeff Bezos, they go, well, I don't know. I said, well, not only did he pay no taxes, we paid him $129 million in tax refund. This is normal for the obscenely rich under both corporate parties. Jeff Bezos is a Democrat. And the forever wars. This is what the Americans want. Conservatives and Democrats. These are things that both conservatives and liberals want, but neither corporate party gives them. The U.S. now has over 800 foreign military bases. No other country has 5. When you tell people stuff, they kind of feel this, when the Green Party brings that knowledge to them and brings that feeling to knowing, they're like, thank you, Green Party. And this is a big difference. Endless war dramatically weakens our investments at home. People feel this. 54% of U.S. federal discretionary spending is now spent on the military. In 2018, both parties worked together in Congress to give the Pentagon 61 million, no, this is billion, that's a typo, billion more than it asked for, with a B. I have to change that. And very few Democrats and Republicans. Some Republicans voted against it, and some Democrats voted against it, but very few. The overwhelming majority of both of those parties tripped over themselves to give the Pentagon more money, 61 billion more than it asked for. Let's go to another area. Public health care is a right. This is what Americans want. This is what Americans demand. This is not what Americans get. What do Americans get? They get promises of health insurance. Health insurance is not the same as having health care. Americans know this. Insurance companies stand between Americans and their rightful access to health care. Only the Green Party will put the private health insurance industry out of business and bring universal public health care to all Americans, because we don't take money from the hospitals, the doctors, the pharmaceutical companies, etc. Go right down the line. Quality housing is a right. people are feeling this pinch, liberals and conservatives alike, doing the bidding of wealthy developers. Democrats and Republicans subsidize luxury developments as housing costs for American families have exploded. And this, every American family knows this. Only the Green Party will seriously invest in affordable housing development, institute rent control, and make sure that all Americans have a decent home regardless of income, because we don't take money from the wealthy developers. We never will. Okay?
Yeah.
I worked in city planning in Kansas City, Missouri, and I see how it happens. Quality education as a right. Only the Green Party will cancel all student debt and provide free quality public college for all. It costs about the same per year to send an American to Harvard as it does to send them to prison. The two corporate parties have been sending us to prison instead of college. And we're going to end mass incarceration. Americans are tired of being the most locked up people in the history of the world. Why don't we send people to Harvard as opposed to the penitentiary? It costs the same amount of money. What's going to be the outcome? The Greens will end the war on drugs and give prisoners the right to vote. We cannot call ourselves a land of the free until we fix this. Educate and don't incarcerate. All of these things just really rip people up, really get people excited about us. And we're the only ones that obviously are going to regulate Wall Street. Only the Green Party will break up the big banks, resurrect antitrust, and protect Americans from corporate greed. The corporate parties bail out corporate crooks. We will lock them up.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. But neither the Democrats or Republicans are going to ever do that. And stop the rich from buying our elections. The corporate parties are never going to change the rigged rules of the game that they invented and continue to take advantage of. We're the only ones that'll do it. People want to hear this. People are excited to hear this. We are giving the American experiment its life back. Okay? We are the hope for American democracy. So again, on these and many other things, self-identified Republicans, self-identified Democrats, and self-identified independents want these things, but the Republican Democratic Party will not do it. Only the Green Party. But we got to not only have the right message and the right policies, we also need to, when we're out there talking to people, have the right kind of demeanor. Okay, and I think that's very important. When we're out there, we need to be friendly. Okay, we're not mad. We're not confrontational. We're positive and optimistic because we have the solutions. We have them. Let's share that with a smile on our face. Make eye contact. Be short to the point. I'm out there doing it. It's fun. Gracefully guide conversations toward commitment. Don't be defensive and don't argue. If somebody doesn't agree with you, don't sit there and argue with them. Don't be pushy. Gauge support and offer opportunities to match their desired level of support. We have every kind of level of support that you can imagine. And so this is an important component this year. So, join the recruitment team today. Both in little ways and big ways. I mean, just your elevator speeches and whatnot. I mean, talk about these things and be forthright about it. People are excited to hear this. Believe me, we've got a number of people out there doing it. Look, you go out there and talk to people, and it's a blast. So, if you're interested in joining the recruitment team, talk to me. There's some contact information there. We want you to come and have fun with us, because we're going to continue to have events. Come and have fun with us.